Satan was originally a cherub, but among the cherub, he was considered a specific type of cherub, right? And if you read Ezekiel 28:14-16, describes him as, his direct biblical description was described as specifically a guardian cherub, right? And so you see several different references of Satan having, hoofed feet, but you never really hear him described as having the four faces, the four wings, the eyes all over the place, and hands like a human hands, right? But the specific description that you'll find in the Bible of him is that he was an anointed guardian cherub. It means he was higher than the other cherubs, right? He was placed on the holy mountain. He walked among stones of fire. I don't know what that means, right? Described as a full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Had a position close to God's presence. Some say that his relationship with God had to do with music. That's why our music down here at Industries seems to be the primary method for evil and satanic stuff to take place, is through the music industry, right? And the key verse that you'll find him that I found interesting was Ezekiel 28:14, where it says, "You were the anointed cherub who covers, and I placed you there." Meaning of covers is that he was kind of like God's closest bodyguard or something like that, right? Because covers means to protect, guardian, right? Similar to the cherub associated with God's throne, right? Now, it's important to know that the cherubim guarded the tree of life after Adam and Eve were expelled from Eden. This could be how he had access to the garden. That's just me speculating or whatever. But after his fall, there seems to be some type of change in his appearance, right? Revelations 12:7-9 describe him as Satan leading a rebellion in heaven. We know about that. A war with Michael. We'll get to that. And the angels. Satan and his followers being cast out. So it's important to note that Satan was not originally a demon or a monster. According to Ezekiel, he was an anointed cherub, a high-ranking angel in God's court, right? Some would even say that he was like, the primary protector, one of God's consorts, right? It's also described very strangely in other passages as well. You can do a whole episode on this, his titles alone, but he's described mainly as the great dragon who was hurled down. Dragon, right? The ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth and his angels with him. Jesus said he watched him fall like lightning from the sky. Dragon, serpent. Now, if you go and you hear one of Jesus' famous rebukes against the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? Pretty much, I think I'm saying that right. He refers to them as the sons of Satan, or Satan, your father, you vipers. Basically, he's referring to them as snakes, right? I have done several episodes where I say that, and I'll stick by this till the end, that I don't believe that the serpent in the Garden of Eden was a talking python. I don't believe that. That's how it's represented, because modern day theologians go out of their way to take the mystical aspect out of the Bible, and they purposefully, in my opinion, ignore having to explain what all these angels look like and the weirdness that goes on with it. I think he was some type of reptilian figure on 2 feet. The dragon, the serpent, something. Native American lore, all these other things talk about these reptilian beings who can shapeshift or whatever. That's my opinion, right? So, and also too, I think sometimes, of course, sometimes the Bible will speak metaphorically, right? But also sometimes too, the Bible will just flat out tell you, what's truly is. So when it says that he was cursed to, crawl on his belly like a snake, like why would he be cursed to crawl on his belly if he was already on his belly, right? That's just something weird I have, right? I think he was a reptilian, and I've done several shows about that as well.
Subscribe now and turn on notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.